Okay, guys, got a couple of questions here. You have the chance to actually collaborate and do something together and come up with the answers and pretend that you're smart. They are related to Uzi. And you guys have one whiteboard, so you can like share and rub together your 2 brain cells and come up with the answers. First question. How old was Uzi in the 2013 World Finals?
I think he was 17.
What? No, I'm gonna say 18.
Okay, you guys have to agree on an answer like pretty
Rock,
fast.
paper, scissors, or which one?
Okay, rock, paper, scissors.
Look.
Okay.
Still sucks. Pause.
Okay.
So,
18.
16.
You know that?
yay, that's correct. Nice. Let's go to the next question.
But then he gassed me.
You were wrong. Anyway.
I was gonna say 16.
Next question. How many career kills does Uzi have on Vayne?
82.
82? Are you kidding me? He's kind of got. I was thinking 1,000.
A thou?
1,000 is way too much. But it's.
Okay,
I'm saying 500.
500
400 then.
How many games of Vayne do you play?
Okay,
Holy.
let's do this.
How many games? Okay, it's fine.
270 over 50 games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, he played 88 Vayne games
88. Okay.
and got
Okay.
397 kills.
Okay, he played 57 Vayne games, and he got 371 Vayne kills.
That's so
Wait,
cool.
whoa.
That is
close.
really close, I know. How many pentakills did he have during his career?
7 pentakills.
And she's smiling. She's revealed it.
With 7.
Final answer.
Yes, it was 7. That is insane.
9.
7. You said 9.
No, it's a math. It's like.
Ah, I thought you were excited. I
That
was
was a
like,
frustration gesture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which teammate was on his side most often?
Was it Xiao or was it the top laner?
No, it must be Xiaohu. Because in 2018 he also played, like, Xiaohu was a mid laner for RNG, right? Do you remember 2018?
I don't remember even last week.
With Xiaohu.
Of his career, he didn't have CC title.
Guys, I'm falling asleep. Come on.
Ming.
Shower.
But it was so low-hanging fruit!
Yay. You guys got another one right. How many different champions did he play during his career?
Maybe like 20. Is 20 a good number?
Bro, how am I supposed to know that?
You said this was your area of
He played Vayne.
expertise.
He played Kaisi.
Ah, here we go.
Xayah.
Twitch, Corki, Zaya,
Oh,
Tristana, Kaisa, Vayne.
He played Urgot. I know he played Urgot because Urgot was an AD carry back then. He had one Urgot game.
Wow. You're so helpful.
Yes.
And there's for sure he played some random champ, like in the 620.
26? Yeah, I'm happy with 26.
It's 34. What's his most played champion?
Kai'Sa.
Kaisa? Let me think.
I think it's Kaisa.
You think it's Kaisa?
He played a lot of Kaisa.
Kaisa.
Wrong, Ezreal. So what was his record against FLICKR?
13 wins, 26 losses.
Let's say
14 losses.
7 wins, 14 losses.
3 wins, 11 losses. Last question. Against which LEC or EU players did he play the most?
Probably Caps.
Reckless.
Yeah, it's Caps.
It actually was Broxa and Reckless.
What? There's no way it's Brox and Reckless. Against FLICKR. Oh, against Uzi.
Against Uzi.
Oh my god.
Yes, you went counting FLICKR. Okay.
Ambush.
No, actually with those answers, you guys lost.
Sucks.
That's really... I'm gonna start crying. Turn off the cameras.
Turn off the cameras right now.
Ain't no way, we got a team of analysts finally winning against players Finn. Congratulations. Okay, so actually we wanted to give you a sneak peek of what happens
Man, I want to do that.
before the broadcast, before you see the casters going on air. This is actually what they do. This is actually how they warm up and get ready for the action, especially given the stakes that we have for the games today. I'm gonna let this weirdness fly by. Hopefully the audience can recover on this. Finn, congrats on winning the game.
Yeah, I mean, Jack Spectre held me back quite a lot in that segment, so that's why he's now getting Kane ulted by Dagda. Justifiably so. If I didn't have Jack there, I'd probably get all 7 questions right.
Oh, I'm sure you would,
But
buddy.
in the end, I'm quite happy that we beat the players
The usual,
once.
blaming the teammate. Odomne, welcome back. No, welcome back to me, actually. I'm the one being back. You were
Hello,
here
Laura,
yesterday.
welcome back.
Hi. I want to talk about the action, actually, because looking at the game we have today, banger on the menu, but also something that we've seen before, because these teams, here is where they are right now. KC is going to go up against Fnatic today in the hope of facing off against MKOI next week. That is actually what happened in Winter, guys.
I mean, to me, in winter, the most memorable best of 5 was between these two teams.
Yeah.
I think that Fnatic KC best of 5 going to 5 games, a lot of good moments there, a lot of drafts. That I
Yeah,
think
a lot of
about.
games.
Exactly, and it did set the stage for also how a preview of this spring, because I feel like these teams still kind of have a little bit of the same identity, but at the same time, walking into that best of 5, it was Fnatic who was the big favorite. But today, I feel like we're getting a reverse where KC is the top dog and the team to beat.
And I'm actually wondering what these teams are going to bring to the table, considering the fact that going through the lower bracket, you have to play more games, you have to come in ready. We saw Fnatic playing 2 days ago. KC was playing yesterday. How hard is it, guys, because you've been in these situations, right, to prep for multiple opponents with so little time to get ready for it?
I mean, I think right now Fnatic has the advantage, right? Because KC are just going back-to-back games.
Yeah.
So Fnatic did have 1 extra day of practice, but in reality, you can't really get that much from just 1 day of practice. So it's going to be very tough for both, because a lot of the cards are already laid out on the table.
Exactly. I would say that usually the team that gets back-to-back games is the one who has an advantage. But given that Fnatic already played before, they already got their share of the games this week, having a day off and being able to study still gives you a little bit of advantage. Even though it is fearless, you don't really get a lot of draft information and stuff like that. But you do get to see games being fresh in front of you.
Yeah, and on the other side, you get more stage experience. You get to play those games on stage. So maybe that can play in their favor as well?
I mean, I would think so. I mean, I think these teams have played a lot of stage games already in their career. And I think because it's in the studio, I think they're just really getting back into that rhythm and just going back onto stage with confidence. And I really wonder if Fnatic use their day to relax or if they just practice super hard to get ready for this game.
I think we would find out very soon. But before that, we have an interview of Ginny sitting by with Rhea in the Marriott Bonvoy pregame chicken.
Thank you, Laure. I'm joined here with Reha from KC. Ahead of your game against Fnatic, we've seen this one in the lower bracket before in winter. It went in your favor. How confident are we feeling today?
Very confident. I think we're going to be very confident for the rest of the season. We know today is a very, very good opponent. We know we need to be playing our best game to win today. But yeah, the confidence is very high, and then we know have to come up on the Rift and put up a fight against them.
Absolutely. And it's something that Yag touched upon as well a little bit in the interview yesterday, where he mentioned that you guys have found the confidence again, but there also has been maybe a little bit of miscommunication and the team isn't necessarily on the same page. How are you able to fix that from last week into yesterday into today?
Yeah, I think, I mean, the two things, right? I think there's mistakes that only happen on stage. So we talked about most of them, and then there will be mistakes that will be happening no matter what, It's not like we can play perfect every time. But I think yesterday our Dragon control was good. It could be better, but that's the most important thing, I think, is we need to be focused going into the next games. And for today, most important is not the amount of mistakes we do. It's being able to clutch out the team fights, clutch out the early games against this team, and be confident in that way. Yep.
And something we've also seen from you guys is just being really good at adapting in the middle of series. For example, like yesterday, game 1 was really good, game 2, not so much. You bounce back in game 3. What do you say to the players for them to actually lock in again? Because we know they got it. It's just a matter of showing it.
Yeah. Are you flaming my draft?
No.
I think now it's been an ongoing process for a long time with the players that have been in the club for so long, Kales, Vladi, Targa, and obviously Yike fits in really very well with Kana because they know that, okay, we just need to forget about the previous game, especially with Fearless, and make sure that we are focused for the next one. And I think that's what we've been doing correctly. I would say that against Koi, what was different is I think we just they were drafting well against us. I think they had a very good plan against us, and I think they also prepared what we were going to do against them. Especially, I think Jojo was not making the mistakes that he would have been doing. So, most important is stay focused on our craft, our team, what we need to be achieving, and as long as we do that and we're confident and we're able to execute, we're gonna have the shots to take the win.
Okay, very quick final question, and that is: you only had 1 day to prepare for this. Does that make it a little bit more difficult?
Kinda, I think, yeah, a little bit because we might be a bit tired, but I'm not sure. But to be honest, we've been preparing for Fnatic the whole week, so okay. I think we know what can happen, and they know what we can do. So it'll be very interesting to see, how the draft comes and how the gameplay comes. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Merci beaucoup. Bonne chance à vous.
Merci.
And Laure, take it away.
Thank you so much, Ginny. Ria saying that they are ready for Fnatic. They were born ready for Fnatic, but also déjà vu of a matchup that we saw last split. This is the state of things. This was the state of things that we had between these two teams last split. Guys, my question is, how did things change, and did they?
Well, some things have changed a little bit, and others we're getting a little bit more familiar with. So, for instance, one of the things which I should immediately point out and say...
We have Casey on this side, by the way, and Fnatic on the other one. Just context. Yeah, there you go. You can point with
it. Yeah,
this.
and I think this one here is actually something which I don't think has necessarily changed yet. Now, we might see that. So the draft in the game 4, I think that was against G2 in the upper bracket. That was very difficult for Casey at that point, and I believe this was the game 5 that we saw between MKOI and Casey on the bottom of screens now. They've still had this last game in a series where they haven't necessarily managed to pull out that golden draft in the last game, and that could be a problem still. They need to fix their drafts in the high-pressure scenarios.
Yeah, exactly, because it's been this trend where Casey has been dropping the ball in game 4 and 5, but I do want to take a look at some of the other points. For example, should they have enabled Kana more, and the lack of systems on the side of Fnatic, because these are things that I feel like the teams have started doing a lot better with Fnatic getting... Duffman, correct. That's exactly what I wanted to talk about. Duffman, and for Kana as well, because our main criticism before was Kana that he wasn't empowered well. But right now, when I look at KC and also at Fnatic, I look at Kana and I look at Upset, and I feel like they're the main guys who are getting empowered heavily in this split, and they're pumping out, great results.
Which is interesting because they were respectively first MVP as second contestant to be MVP this split, with Kana being the second one here. Are they the players we want to look at here? Are they going to be the keys to victory for their team?
Yeah, absolutely. From the games that we've seen in playoffs so far, it's no surprise that the two front runners in MVP, which are on everyone's list really, are core to the styles. Upset, winning the 2v2 with Mickey, becoming a huge power in the team fights, has been unstoppable for Fnatic when he gets ahead. And Kana, if he gets something like the Ambassador, a winning matchup, he's similar for KC.
Exactly, and personally, I don't really care between these two teams who got the MVP over the other one. I really care that this showcases pretty much how important they have been to their teams. And it's not really the individual performance, but it's the consistency. I feel like every single game we look at Fnatic and we look at KC, we always have two stars that are always performing very, very well, that when the team is struggling, they pump out, pretty much the same performance, and it's Kana and Upset.
And I love how they're on opposite sides of the map and they unlock each other's teams. So we could have an arms race, top lane versus bot lane, both of them enabling both these teams to play comfortably, and hopefully that means we get a banger series.
And even Kalist yesterday was praising Upset for pretty much the standout player than he is, saying that of course he's going to be a respected opponent, of course he's a really good ADC. I'm really looking forward to seeing these two and how they're going to play in the bot lane. Kalist was also mentioning yesterday that for KC right now, so far in playoffs, they're still looking for this missing piece. Erkut, what do you think he's talking about here?
When I think about it, it feels like he's probably not content with the game just being so slow and played so much around neutral objectives, and he feels like maybe the KC of old in Winter had a little bit more of an X factor when it comes to finding skirmishes, finding leads, when it comes to before these Dragon situations where you get to set up the map, find picks, make the game a little bit easier and not rely so much on these team fights.
So now I'm really interested to see, it's a new patch, we've been playing games on it, how quickly can they figure out that magic dust on the patch and see if they can get through what is a very important series for both
One
teams.
single and final question. Have we seen enough from both teams yesterday and 2 days before to know who is going to be a clear winner today? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Definitely not.
Oh, it's so close.
Definitely
no
not.
idea.
I mean, we want banger games. We want 5 games, and we want them to fight for it. No more mistakes allowed. No more players' fumbles. Both teams have 5 games to prove that they deserve to face against MKOI next week. You fight for a ticket to MSI, or you book a ticket home. It's Fnatic versus KC, and it's starting right now.